founder. We dedicate this show to the spiritual founder of Black Star, and that's Philip Jackson. And also, ongoing, we also dedicate this show to his sister, Gloria Smith, who is executive director of Black Star Project here in Chicago. Got an exciting show for you because I got an exciting guest, and he's more than an exciting guest. We have namesakes. His name is Jimmy Carter. My daddy's name was Jimmy Jones Carter. His daddy, was your daddy Jimmy Carter too?
No.
Okay, he wasn't Jimmy Carter. No. But anyway, I have to get my shout outs already to Imani and to Rocio for putting this together as studio producers, and thank you guys very much. You're going to get one more shout out at the end of the story, at the end of this show. I just introduced this dynamic man that I just met recently. He is Chef Carter. And this is a gentleman who is doing a lot in the community, has learned a lot of things to share, especially with seniors, and to talk about and address things that seniors should be interested in as far as their eating and the quality of life, and to remember that life is not over for them.
It is not over at all.
Chef Carter, I'm going to throw it to you right now. Come on, talk about some of the things you excited me about talking. I mean, when we were talking.
Well, listen, life for seniors is not over.
Okay.
It is not over. This is just the beginning for you. And so eating habits and whatever ails you, listen, life is not over for our seniors, not at all.
Give them some of the options and why life is not over and what they should be looking at.
Well, let's just say this. Listen, a few years ago, I lost my sight.
What?
And I thought my life was over. And I was born with my eye was detached and it never developed my left eye, so I never could see out of it. And in 2017, I lost my sight in this right eye. And believe it or not, I thought I would be blind. But listen, let me just say this. I asked the Lord, I said, if the mayors and the governors and the Illinois Senate and the Illinois Congress can always tell me, Carter, this is beautiful. I said, Lord, how can you give me a gift that I can't see? And I took salvage in that it wasn't over for me. And the second
He didn't give you that gift for nothing.
No.
You had something to do with that
no.
gift of sight and some other gifts that I know you have. But please go on.
Amen. And so in 2022, the sight went away again. Wow. I had stigma in this eye, and let me tell you, when they went in to fix it, they messed it up. And I went home thinking, this is it. And let me tell you, when I got out of the car, it wasn't a good picture. I started counting from the car door to the house, how many steps. And
you were preparing yourself.
Just preparing myself to be blind. And I tell you, when the doctor told me, Mr. Carter, we can fix it, that's all I needed to hear. And so I'm here to tell you today that no matter where you are in life as a senior, life is not over for you. There are a lot of health benefits in our eating. I know we're going to get into a diabetic piece.
Yes, but let me remind our audience, you folks down at Atlas, you folks down at Kroc Center, get your pencils and papers out. We're going to give you some information. You need to take notes because you're going to want to contact him, or you're going to want to contact me so that I can get information to you from him.
Amen.
So take your pencil and paper. Go ahead.
Amen. And so when I say life is not over, listen, I used to be a food service director at a assisted living here in Chicago, and I had an opportunity to see seniors at their best and seniors at their worst.
Okay.
And I had a chance to see seniors that were 69 and 70 and 71, 72, because of all of the medication that they were taking, didn't even halfway know that they was in the world. But I have a parent, my mother and father, they are still living. My father is 87 and my mother is 83, 84 a couple of days ago. They've been married for 69 years.
That's a beautiful blessing to have.
And I'm going to tell
Yes.
you, they go where they want to go. They get up when they want to get up. They move when they want to move. They come home when they want to come home. And as soon as I said, Daddy, well, you might need somebody to help you drive, you know what he said? Who going to stop me from driving?
You're not taking the keys away, right?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
You
Not
might
at
risk
all.
amputation if you try to grab those keys. But
Listen,
go ahead.
let me just say this. I told my mother since I was this big shot in Chicago, going back to Mississippi, I said, Mama, listen.
What part of Mississippi? Tell
They
us.
from Edwards.
Tell us where that's near.
Edward is just outside of Jackson,
Okay.
just east of Clinton, Mississippi, down by Mississippi Valley State, the college.
Okay, and Johnson, Mississippi is close to one of my frat brothers used to live there. He had 100 acres and a mule.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you, my daddy, my mother and father, they got some land.
Okay.
My daddy said at 35, he promised my mother when they get to the 35th year that he will build her a house that she deserved, and he did that. And I told my mother, I said, well, Mama, I think it's time for me to put you and Dad maybe in an assisted living so that, you know, y'all can enjoy it. Y'all can enjoy it. So my mama said, son, look, go to that window. You see that window out there?
Okay.
As far as your eye can see,
That was what they told you.
Carter owned it.
Uh-oh.
She said,
Uh-oh.
she said, come on, go in this bathroom. She said, look, sit on that toilet. Now look out that window. You see that lake out there? She said, now look beyond the lake. Carter owned it.
Oh, boy. That's a
She
testimony. Go ahead.
she said, you see that perch lake down there where we go fishing, me and your daddy?
Yeah.
Carter owned it.
All right.
She see them horses out there? Yeah, Carter
own it. Okay.
Carter own it. And so while you hear from the city talking about putting us away, when he leave here and I leave here, we gonna be buried on this mountain, and this gonna be all yours.
Carter-
and so
Carter territory.
So I just say, with seniors, life is not over.
Tell me something. You were telling me before about your mom and some of the dishes that she would fix and what would happen with not Big Mama. Was your grandmother, you told me about how they had the church suppers?
Oh yeah,
and what they fixed?
Oh yeah, so we have that dinner here now.
Okay.
That's a part of
Tell-
why I'm on this
tell
show.
that story,
but Big
please.
Mama, listen. As a child, some of y'all can identify with what I'm getting ready to say. We would have what they call Big Mama's dinner. This is dinner after church service. So after
Okay.
church service, Mama would invite the preacher.
Pastors be there too,
Oh,
huh?
we didn't like the preacher because the preacher came over and
Yeah,
ate
first
all the
choice.
chicken.
He got the first
Yeah,
choice.
he got the
You
first
get the
choice
breast or
of
the
all
drumstick?
of the
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Mama and her sisters would get in the kitchen on Saturday night,
Mm-hmm.
and man, they would cook some pies, some potato pies, and some
Tell,
pecan pies.
tell us about the healthiness of the things they were cooking in the preparation.
Okay,
You shared some of that with me also.
They cook butter beans, crider beans.
Uh-oh,
They cook crider peas with okra, fried okra. But they didn't fry it with what I fry mine in. You know, they used the lard stuff back then.
Back
but
then.
we don't use that. We kind of eat.
We learned a little bit better?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yes sir,
okay.
yes sir. We eat healthy now. And listen, let me tell you something. I went home about just before COVID, and my mother invited the people from the church to come down because my big shot son is coming, and I want to fix some supper for him.
Chef Carter's coming. Go
And
ahead.
let me tell you, I never knew, this is a true story, I never knew my mother to be this excellent cook. I never knew, I just knew that she was a good cook. But man, let me tell you, that girl had some real sweet candy yam. She had some crider peas with okra.
Was that late grown on that 100 acres?
Right behind the acre, daddy get up at 6 o'clock. He knows how to eat it. The okra, listen, let me tell you, butter beans. Y'all know anything about huckable butter beans?
Raise your hand if you do.
The butter beans. And now they use fat back. I don't use the fat back because, you know,
still guilty.
because this is the reason why we have the diabetes problem that we have now. And we want to get into that if we have
Okay.
a minute on it. But my mother, oh, that girl made some genuine cornbread. This is not Jiffy. Put that camera over here. This wasn't Jiffy. This wasn't Jiffy cornbread. Mama would take 2 cups of cornmeal, and she would take a half a cup of flour. She would take 4.5 tablespoons of that baking powder, man. She would take 4 eggs, and she would take that milk, and she would mix that up, and 4 tablespoons of oil, and baby, bye. You got real cornbread. Y'all women that don't cook, try this. I guarantee your brother will come home when he smell that cornbread.
Write us back for that recipe. You'll share that, right?
Yes, sir.
Give him your email address.
Email
right now, our
is
guest.
simply.
I told you to write it.
Huh?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Simply Good Cooking. COOKIN.
Is that what's on there?
That's right there.
Simply SG Cooking.
Simply Good Cooking, not cooking. That's northern. Cooking is cooking. That's southern.
Okay.
And
Knowing how to burn. Huh?
no, man. Ooh, that girl cooked. Oh my goodness. That girl fried some chicken, and man, baby, bye.
But yeah, let me hit you with something.
Okay.
Quick. One of the things you told me said, we often say, this doesn't taste like my mama's cooking. This is not. You were telling me, what's the difference now between what we're eating now and back, if I can talk about that in the day?
Well, the difference is, let me go here.
Go ahead.
Daughter, have you ever tried a recipe that your mama cooked and she gave you the recipe and you followed the recipe down to the T, and you still say something missing? This don't taste. I did, and you call mama and said, Mama, I follow your recipe. The reason why it don't taste right is because mama cooked with her heart. You're cooking with your head.
That was more intellectual, but with your heart is something different. Huh?
You know, because when mama say you want to take them eggs and put them in, okay, you just took the 6 eggs and put it in there all at the same time, but mama paced herself.
Tell these folks, some of these young ladies and men that cook too. Tell them how to do it.
Mama paced herself when she was making that cake. She paced herself. She may put 1 egg in there. See, you pull the eggs out of the refrigerator because mama said use 6 eggs. But see, mama know that the eggs got to be room temperature. She might not have told you room temperature.
I found that out for some friends of mine in Florida I stayed with, because they had these eggs out on the shelf, and it was from their chicken coop, but it wasn't refrigerated. I didn't know that was something that was important.
Those eggs, room temperature works with the yeast. It works with the baking soda.
Okay.
If it's room temperature. And so when you want to cook, just put some love. See, mama never cooked rushed.
Okay.
And that's what our society have us now. We rushing.
Well, how do you do that with? You got some restaurants going on.
Yes,
You've been
sir.
advised. How do you maintain that kind of pace or rhythm or whatever, so
Okay.
that you don't rush your cooking?
Okay. So what I do is I make sure I hire the right person.
Okay.
The right chefs.
Okay.
First of all, everybody that say they're a chef don't mean they're a chef.
They can't just put on that hat and say I'm a chef. Okay.
You
good.
got to cook for me. First of all, you got to cook for
What do
me.
you have them test kitchen? What's in the test kitchen?
So here's what I do. I'll ask them. I'll say, okay, just for the basic, cook me a wild rice pilaf. And some of them will say, huh? I say, okay.
What's wild rice?
Okay, wild rice pilaf.
No, I don't know. Yeah, right, go
just
ahead.
jasmine rice.
Yeah.
You know, just cook that for me and just show me. Can't do it. Then I'll say, well, okay, I want you to go back there and I want you to get me that inside round back there and bring it up here and cook it for me.
Inside round?
You know, see?
You got it.
See, now watch. See, I'm a Southern boy. There's the outside of the cow.
Okay.
There's the inside of the cow. We call it a roast.
Okay.
But we call it in the restaurant industry, an inside round cooks different from what we call the top butt, which is the
Which is the tender one?
Okay,
Or
so
both of them tender.
So
to your
neither
cooking.
one,
Okay.
both of them got it. You got to spend some time with both of them. Okay, but when people come in to cook, we'll open a new steakhouse out in Lansing, and I interview chefs and cooks all the time. They run through Carter, let me cook. It's a difference, baby, from cooking at home and cooking in a restaurant.
Ladies, are you listening?
Men,
are you listening?
It's a difference. It's a difference in cooking. See, at your house, you're cooking for 2 or 3 people. In the restaurant, you're cooking for 300 or 400 or 500 people. It's different. It's a different style of cooking, and you got to be able to understand recipes.
Okay.
And that's
measurements
where,
and all of that, and
yes, sir.
proportions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to understand if we're baking in the restaurant, we take into consideration the element of the restaurant. The temperature of the back of the house have to be ready and right for baking. You can't just go into a restaurant and start baking, and when it's fall, you be saying, I used everything that I was supposed to use, but my cake still failed. Well, the oven might not have been at temperature,
Right
the
temperature.
eggs wasn't at temperature, the oil wasn't at temperature, the flour could have been, it's a lot of elements to cooking now. Cooking is a science now. It's
Okay.
not just
Well, isn't it an art too?
it's an art, but
Okay.
it's a mama cook. She didn't call it a science. She just said, baby, you just take your time and cook these greens. Let me show you how to cook it. Now, the young people, or the young women, I'm going to say 30, the millennium, 34, 36, they rush. Now they just go to the restaurant, let the restaurant cook it for them.
I made that mistake the first time I cooked greens for myself. Cooked these greens up, seasoned it, and tasted it, and they were gritty. Mama forgot to tell me I didn't wash any wash.
Baby, you gotta wash them now,
Yes,
and
sir.
you gotta wash them a couple of times.
Yeah, get all that grit,
Yes,
sand.
that's
you know.
right. That's right. You're right. And so even when I'm cooking greens, I just take my time.
What do you season your greens with these days that you're not using ham hocks or you're not using salt pork as much as we used to? Tell me what
most
you did.
people use either a turkey neck,
Okay.
or you could use a turkey butt.
Smoked or just
smoke.
regular? Okay.
If you like the smoke.
Yeah, okay.
And so you're gonna do it. If you want me to show you how to do it or tell you how to do it, let me just tell you how to do it. You're gonna put just a little olive oil in the bottom of your pan, and you're gonna take you some smoked pork, and you're gonna cut it up just like you would do something pork. You just gonna use.
Keep writing, taking notes, folks.
Yeah, just take these notes, and then you're gonna bring that, and you're gonna get all of that, and then sometimes you might want to put just a little onion. You might want to put just a little bell pepper to give your greens a little bit more flavor than what they have. Then you're gonna take your greens, and you're gonna put your greens in that pot after you wash them.
After you washed it.
You're gonna cut them the way you like them. Some people like them thin, some people like them a little bit. Now we're talking about collard greens.
Okay. No mustard? Because my mother had a system. I'd go to the store, she'd send me to the store, I'd get 2 pounds of mustard and 1 pound of spinach.
Okay, so now we call that because I spent quite a bit of time in Kenya. We call that callaloo.
Callaloo.
That's a Jamaican green, callaloo. You can't get callaloo. You can get it here, but you got to really search for it. You're going to take them greens, you're going to wash them up. Now, to make sure that they tender, my mother used to put just a little baking soda.
I heard about that.
Just a little baking soda in it. And then she's going to take it, and she's going to take half of, however big the container, she's going to take half of that with water and put a lid on it. And let them boys go.
Is that one of those big black pots or what?
Well, you can do a big pot, little pot,
Yeah, okay.
however you want it.
Okay. But you know what? We've got not a lot of time, but I want you to hit about some of the juices that you told me about, the health benefits of juices for older folks and diabetics, etc. Talk about the juices.
Well, if you don't have as a senior, if you don't have a lot of strength, you want to deal with iron.
Okay.
And you get from your iron, you can use a turnip, or you can use a carrot, or beet juice.
Beet juice, that's the one that intrigued me.
Yes, beet juice. Now, if you don't like beets, beet juice, here's what you want to do real quick. You want to take your beets, you want to peel them, you're going to put them in the oven, you're going to add a little honey on it.
Peel, honey.
Honey. And then you can take that and put that in a juicer if you have it, or you can slice it like a turnip and eat it just like that. It's going to take about 20-25 minutes for it to roast off. But carrot juice is really good. Has a lot of iron in it. Has a lot of vitamin D, a lot of vitamin
People,
A.
I see back, they're watching us, they're raising their hand. They want to get your information. Give them their information because they need to get back to us or get
Okay.
back to you. Tell them how to reach you.
So you can reach me at Simply Good Cooking, COOKIN, at yahoo.com. You can reach me at Simply Good Cooking Facebook. You can reach me at Executive Chef Jimmy Carter. YouTube Executive Chef Jimmy Carter. You can YouTube is Simply Good Cooking. Make sure it's COOKIN. You can link in Executive Chef Jimmy Carter. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me now.
I should give this disclaimer. As much as I want him to be my brother, he's my soul brother. But your daddy grew up there. My daddy grew up in the Chesapeake Bay area. But they're both Jimmy Carters.
Yes, that's a good name.
a good name.
Wait a minute, he's a Carter. Carter is a good name. There were kings made after Carter.
Well,
so
you
that's
get
a
on the
unique
program
name.
again. We're going to get you back again. You know how to do it. Tell us some of the things you want to leave us seniors with. I'm one of those seniors that need your advice in terms of my eating, quality of life, etc. Go ahead,
So
please.
I think we talked about three things. You're thirsty. You're urinating.
We can say that on board here. All
And,
right,
and urinating. And what was the third one? The third one was something. I forget it.
It'll come back.
I'm going to sing
We
it.
know about that,
Okay,
right?
so now, those are indication that you're going into type 2 diabetes. They just indicators. That's all it is. So you can change type 2 diabetes. You can change that with your eating habits. That's what I want to help you with, is your eating habit.
And how to cook too, because you're not saying you're a doctor and try to
No,
give
no,
them medical advice. Yes, we're clear about that.
Make sure y'all know I'm not a doctor, but I do have a full culinary degree, a master's degree in culinary. I've been cooking over 40 years. Over 40 years. I've taught at the major institute. So food, I know. If you need someone to come in to cook that listen, I know. If you need a Big Mama's meal,
That should be the title.
if you wanna bring your family together and have what I used to have, that's what we're doing. Big Mama's dinner. After church dinner, you come home, you ain't gotta do nothing. We bring the china, we bring the linen, we bring
We're talking about the healthy part. That I know you got to have all all the accoutrements, but you're talking about bringing some information about healthy eating
Yes,
that
sir.
will help diabetics, that will help seniors,
Amen.
and anybody who's interested in the quality of life
Amen.
having a quality of life for the rest
Amen.
of their life.
Amen.
right.
Amen. So that's what I want to leave with you. Listen, life is not over for you. Listen, if you used to ride a bicycle and you only 62, 63, 65, 69, 79, once you ride the bike, you never forget.
Ain't forgot, huh?
You never forget. You may have a little problem turning at the beginning, but once you start riding it, you'll be laughing all the way around the corner.
That's right. That was like the young lady that was on before with the Major Taylor bike trail. That's one of the things I got to get back on with our
Amen.
previous production. The previous production was on before us that you're watching. Give us some more information about you,
Okay.
your background.
Well,
We're going to hit it quick.
Well, I was a corporate chef for Marriott for 17 years. Out of all of the corporate chefs, there was only 3 of us that was African American. Had a chance to go over into
In the
Europe.
Marriott, okay, in the Marriott, okay.
Had a chance to go over into Europe. I had a chance to do a dissertation in Europe. I had the opportunity to go to London. I've had an opportunity just to go to all of the Kenyan, from Kenya to Ghana to Botswana to...
Folks, raise your hand. How many people want Chef Carter back? Let me see. Folks from Atlas, you got about 20 hands there. Folks from Croc, there's another 20 or 30 people raising their hands. Come listen to this show again and share it. You've got to share these blessings
Amen.
with your friends and relatives.
Amen.
I am so happy that we were able to grab you tonight and you be with us and begin to share. It's so many things that I know we have to have you again.
Amen.
So you keep in mind, I'm going to look at your calendar and see how we can get you placed again here at CAN TV on Channel 21. Black Star Still Rising, brought to you by the Black Star Project, founded by Philip Jackson, carried on by Gloria Smith. Thank you for being with us today, and we look forward to hearing from you. Your calls, 312-662-3106. You can call me at that number, and I'll get back to you if you have questions, for follow-up questions with Chef Carter. Please get those to us in the next few days, and we'll see about how soon we can get them back, and maybe even, you're talking about preparing some stuff. You're gonna bring something.
Next time
like,
we gotta have something to munch
something
on
on?
while we on this here TV.
Will you do a pound cake?
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
easy. You want me to tell you a recipe?
Yeah, no. You know what I really want? I want you to, golly, I want you to show me how to make some good neck bones with white beans. Tell me about that. But
Okay.
we're wrapping up. Thank you for being with us today. Again, our producers, Rocio and Imani, thank you so much for putting us a good looking light. All right.